You really like that name, don't you? Hello there, GRE 2057. Started a couple minutes early, let some people get in here. I can play around with these computer settings for a minute. And when you know it, the day I start a little bit early is the day everything works out just fine. Go figure that one out. That's okay, that's allowed. So we got a little bit of a different setup this time, so I'm actually looking at the camera, which is a change, I guess. Normally I'm looking over there trying to figure things out, so. Totally jumping right in there, right off the bat. Take this from me as a small token of railroading. GRE 2057, right off the bat. And it's a good one. And I'll try to give you a little bit more of a shout out in a little bit when we get a few more people in the room. But we got 8 people in here now. So if you're not familiar with GRE 2057, of course, go check them out right now. Why not? We got a couple minutes. Because I started 5 minutes early thinking that I would have my computer problems that I always have. And guess what? Everything's working perfect. Maybe I shouldn't say that. Knock on wood. Of course, right? I assume you're a Leafs fan. Yes, I am. But they're not playing hockey anymore. So I'm not much of a golf fan. So don't like golf. So right now can't like the Leafs, right? But I do like the Washington Capitals. I would love to see Ovechkin win a cup. And the guy would probably retire right after that. He can say he's done everything, right? So that would be one good thing anyway. I'm going for the Caps to win. Me too. So a couple more minutes. Like I said, I started early for a change, and it just happened to all work. So I don't get them. It's just my luck, of course. So whatever. So you guys got a minute? Go grab yourself something to drink. Coffee, pop. If you're old enough. A beer. Okay, Nate Jackson in the room. Cheryl Crow, hello to you. Train Dudes. And Union Pacific Rail Fan for life. Is up, Sparky? Good day, sir. How are you? Mike Thomas. And Ron Pisco's here, too. Good day, sir. How are you doing? So sitting at 13, and the only thing that my laptop likes to do is buffer all the time. So as long as the chat keeps up, I guess we're doing pretty good. Remember this and that annoying little redhead Daniel? You weren't that annoying to me when I was down there. You were pretty good, actually. I showed that clip that you made for me earlier tonight, about an hour ago. So I thought that was pretty cool. So Union Pacific Rail Fan for life. That is Daniel Coombs from the What's Neat This Week show. So if you guys want to go check out his channel and subscribe to the guy, maybe he'll get some more videos up on his channel. I believe he's doing Union Pacific. Imagine that, eh? Right in the name. So I think he could use a couple more subscribers. I think we all can. And then we'll see what he's doing around his way out. We got Jamestown 34. Oh, I actually caught the live today. Yeah, so did I. I'm surprised. Oh, wait, I always catch them. Well, except when I lose my voice and I try to hide from them. So Mike Thomas, sure will. Ron Piskel is saying hi to Daniel. Welcome. Yes, welcome. Of course, I always forget that part. I just assume everybody is welcome here, of course. So, so get a couple more people in here. We're at 6:59 right now. How is everyone doing? So it looks like a busy day for the chat anyway. EJ and E Jeff. Gotta say, I'm not a fan of Canada Dry. How was the Ken Patterson place? Well, that's kind of, and yeah, it's 7 o'clock, so why not? The Ken Patterson visit was, I don't know if you started off with saying quite unique. Definitely something I was not ready for. You see the What's Neat this week's show, and you see all his trains behind him, and you know he's got a nice display. And you don't really get to see his layout a lot. Like you see little clips up here and there. The guy's full basement is trains. That is it. He's got a workbench in one room. He's got power tools all in this one room. It's a great setup. But the rest of his basement is the What's Neat area, the bench, studio, I guess you could call it. Over to the one side, he's got his computer set up so he can do all his editing, and everything else around there is just trains. Every shelf is trains. When you walk around his whole room, it's all the photographs that he's taken over the years for different publications of books, magazines, advertisements. He even had a sign there that said Ken Patterson real estate. That's what he used to do, which I was kind of surprised. I didn't know that part about Ken. So, but under his layout, like there was shelves that probably were hiding shelves if you move them, but I wasn't into time. It was my first time visiting the guy, so I didn't want to get too touchy and feely type thing, but he had, and I wish I would have got a video of it. I didn't see it till afterwards, but he actually had like a dresser set up, and the drawers are about 4 inches, very nice stain and lacquered finish done to it. Probably, I don't know, 12, 14 drawers on this thing. And they slid out, and that's where all his rail cars and stuff were. And it was just magnificent. Like it was probably 6 feet wide. I'd probably say a good 3.5, 4 feet high. All rail cars inside it. And this one gentleman that was there, he opened it up and said, "Oh, I bet you would love all this stuff here." And I just looked at him and said, "I bet I'd love just the case. I don't care what's in it." Like that rack was awesome. So Nathan Delay, how was the Ken Patterson place was your question. So we'll get to that a little bit. But if you guys got any questions about what it's like in a studio, and a professional studio at that, and what it was like at Ken's, the visit, I guess when I first got there, he actually thought I was Luke Townsend. I guess I look a little bit like him when I've got a camera stuck up to my face. So I'm covering about this much of my face. So he actually thought that Ron had pulled a fast one over and brought this really famous guy over with him, but it was just me. So Mike Thomas, Jamestown, Nancy Fisk, and we got Container Man in the house. Where are all your mods? You're right there. I sent Vinny a text, but that, I don't know, he might be sleeping. You know what Vinny's like. So the first day at getting to Ken's, he came out and he looked at that station. So that was the video I put up. And that video does not do that part justice. He was just in awe. It was such an amazing model. I've got it downstairs. I can, maybe next week I'll throw it up on this show and try to give it some justice too. But it will be down on my layout for sure. But Train Dudes, how are you doing? Hey, Sparky, you should get Discord. I think I've got part of it, but I deleted it. Now I've only got half of it. So, but Ken wanted to take so many pictures of that museum piece of my station. And I think he just got completely wrapped around himself that he forgot to do the outside photo take. But we ended up doing some inside photos. And right from the time that we got there to basically the time we left, if we had a little bit of downtime, it was usually about 10 minutes. Sit down, kind of go, oh, okay. And then Ken would start thinking out loud. Like, this guy just thinks nonstop. That's all he's doing is thinking. And he's throwing ideas out there all the time. And as you're sitting there being the new guy on the block, I wasn't sure if I should be throwing ideas out too. So he'd say a couple things, and then all of a sudden I'd be like, oh, well, what if he did this? And he'd just go, that's awesome. We got to do that. We got to try that. And I'd be like, okay, maybe I should be putting my 2 cents in. There was a couple times he gave me some weird looks, but super, super nice guy. So the best thing I can say about Ken Patterson is when he's doing his What's Neat This Week show, his podcast, the back door is open. You go down, you go into the back door, introduce yourself, tell him that you're there for the podcast. He loves to have people there while they're shooting the podcast. And I will say one thing about that podcast. What you really do see when you're watching it, except for the B-roll when people are talking, and then he shows different flicks or different videos, that is the podcast. He has that right down to a half an hour. He knows what he wants to say. He says it. He's got it written down. And I noticed a couple people commented on his last What's Neat of, oh, Ken, you got to stop cutting people off. You talk too much. It's like, well, you know what? It's Ken's show. And like I said, Ken has a set dialogue already right in front of him. He knows what he wants to talk about. He's already got it in his head, how long everything should take. So when you're talking and all of a sudden you go a little bit offline, he brings you right back in. And it's an amazing experience. So if any of you guys can get down to St. Louis on a Saturday night, when he's doing it, it's anywhere from, if you show up at 8 o'clock, you're pretty much good. I think we ended up filming at 9. And we were done by 9:30. After that, he threw it up at about 10 o'clock, a little bit of editing and stuff. We got to see the raw version of it. But so, g'day, Toy Man. How are you doing? We got Ralph Greenwood. So there you go, Container Man. You got a little bit of help. You got BNSF 6951. So Mr. Vinny's there. Bruce is here. Railfan 555. Hello, sir. How are you? North American Trains is hey, Bruce. So he saw you before I did. So take a minute right now, guys. There's 22 of you. If you don't recognize somebody in the room, and a lot of you look like you're normally here, but if you're not sure, go check out their channel, subscribe to them, and hit the bell if you want to see what they're doing. So I don't know what else to really say about Ron's place, Ken Patterson's place. Like I said, it can be very relaxing if that's what you want to do. Mike Thomas, he says he's new. So there you go, guys. There's one. Go get him. Click on his name. Check him out. And we got Go Via CN Ontario. He's popped in and said hi. Wild Hair Hobbies is here. You should make me a mod. I was here from the start. I was here from the start too, and I'm not a mod. So right now, we're not looking for any more moderators, especially when they all show up. I think I'm only missing one. That's Nancy, and she's always out rail fanning at this hour. So, yeah, if you go over to Ken's and you want to relax, you can. You just sit in the backyard. Normally, he's got his garden railroad up and running, but must have been a pretty rough winter because there was actually a section of the trestle that was completely destroyed. So he's got to get to fixing that. But and if you're there, you got a camera in your hand, you're taking video, and Ken will look at the video that you took, and if he wants it, he's going to keep it. So I'm pretty sure I do have some more video clips coming up in his monthly show, which will be kind of cool. So other than that, I don't know, ask questions if you guys got any about what it was like to be there, what it's like to film a show, or how chaotic it was. I'm incognito. Yeah, I can't even say the word, so you're doing good. I'll never recognize you. I'm subscribing as they come in. I'd like to do that, but then I'd have to sit here in silence for a while. Silence! So what was the other thing that we were doing? Like I said, it was when we got in there, we had to fix up my station a little bit because it didn't like the 2,200 kilometers that I had to drive. Got a couple bumps and a couple pieces fell off. So you should probably sit back so you can see my whole face, eh? And it's got to be I'm allergic to live streams. I can just get all stuffed up in one side. So, but what was it? Saturday morning, Ron and I woke early, and we got the bench all worked out. He got all his models out on it. Him and I did about 3 takes trying to get things done. Now, this is something I didn't know about professional videoing, is you can just, and I'm not good at it apparently, but you just take your video camera, set it up, and let it record. Say whatever you want, stop, chat, say some more, do a take 2, take 3, take 4, go back and do something else that you did at the beginning that you weren't sure that you liked. And then, and I guess this is for people who like to edit a lot, but then you turn around, you take all those little clips and you slice and dice them all up and move them all over the place, and you got this awesome video. So I couldn't do it right now. I'm still using Movie Maker for mine, so I don't think Movie Maker lets me cut and paste and stuff like that, but that's about it. I don't really want to get into editing all that much. Not until I'm like way up in Ken's level, I guess. But he loved my camera. I got there and I had my camera sitting down. He picked it up and he wouldn't put it down. He was pushing buttons on it and playing with it, took the video card out of it, which is something I've never done. And, well, which isn't a big deal, but puts it back in. He's playing with more buttons. And then we were doing that, the scene with the garden scale auto racks. And I go out there with my camera and I flip open the thing and I got my eyepiece on there because it's nice and sunny and the whole screen's white. And I'm like, this isn't right. So I get pushing a couple buttons on it and I'm like, nope, this isn't right. So I looked at Ken and he's really busy taking all of his pictures and stuff like that. And I'm like, Ken, I don't know what you did to this thing, and I handed it to him and he's like, I've never seen that before. So I had to go back in the house and play with it for a bit. It took me about 10 minutes to get it all back set up and everything, but got to go back outside and shoot some more video. And it was funny too, because by the time I was done playing with my camera and I got back outside, they were pretty much done and putting things away. I thought, oh, that's great. I missed it. That's how fast Ken works. Like I said, Ken Patterson's got the idea stuck in his head. This is the way he wants things done. Does it, gets rid of it, moves on to the next project. So you can't be slow at that place, that's for sure, especially if you're going to spend the whole weekend. So Ron Pisco's asking who Eric is. Yeah, me too. I haven't seen him for a while. So Jennifer White, how are you doing? Y'all done with your little surgery? Or is that a secret? I know nothing, but hopefully you're feeling a lot better. So how many trains did you see pass by during your visit? Actually, I only saw the one because, like I said, we were just busy all the time. Inside shooting videos and things like that. And sat outside in the morning for that coffee. And we sat out there for about 15 minutes. No train. Ron's like, oh, I hear a train coming. But there was no train. That was like some work down the street or something like that. And I don't even know how I caught that. I caught the tail end of another train, which was kind of funny because we're all standing outside and all of a sudden Ken looks at us and goes, there's a train coming. And they just bolt for this patio thing he's got built over the ledge. And of course, I had to run in the house to grab my camera and come back out. And of course, I'm wearing not flip-flops, but sandals. So they get caught in the grass and I'm doing a head over heels type thing. Get up, I get there, and all I see is about the last 6 cars go by. I'm like, oh, that wasn't much of a video, but oh well. Better be good. Look at the mods in the house tonight. Yeah, there's a couple of them. How you new channel? How's your new channel? Who are you talking to, Jennifer? Who's got a new channel? And GRE, Ralph's doing good. Most of must be hot in Canada, flip-flop weather. Yeah, I was in St. Louis, and it was like 35, 37 degrees Celsius. So I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit. But it was warm and very humid, actually. But the mornings were nice. Like I could sit out on that deck probably all day, watch trains, just in awe. And there's a farmer's fields down there just before the water, and then I don't know if it was a city or whatever, but they built a track around the whole thing. It's about 5 miles long. People go down there and they walk their dogs, ride their bikes, go for walks. Just Nice. I don't think I could do the 5 mile thing because once you get started, you have to kind of finish because it's only got 2 entrances. So I will be on Deshler Camp. Okay. So any questions out there for what it was like at Ken's place, what it's like pre-recording, how many takes that they do? I'd be watching riverboat traffic. Wasn't too much riverboat traffic down there either. I saw 2 barges go by. And then the one right at Ken's place that you'll see in a couple of my videos, they're actually putting it together for the whole weekend. So, and I didn't know this before, but on those barges, the guys actually live on them nowadays. And they actually, if you want to, you can give them money and you can go up and down the river with them for a price, of course. Everything's got a price. So did you get some barbecue? No, we didn't have barbecue that day, but the owner of the restaurant was there. He just didn't bring anything by for us this time. And if I would have known that there was a nice smokehouse there, but I guess he's downtown St. Louis, so we didn't venture off too far. We ended up it's funny, we got Burger King and all these fast food joints here in Canada, and we go down there. Where do we eat? Taco Bell and Burger King. And Roy, I'm going to tell you right now, don't eat at the Taco Bell in Canada. It tastes nothing like your Taco Bell down there. Like, nothing like it. Burger King wasn't bad, but we did eat at a pretty expensive Italian restaurant. It cost us about $45, $50 for the 2 of us to eat, and all Ron had was a sub. But I had this nice, it was chicken and broccoli and a nice cream sauce, and it was just yummy, yummy, yummy. That was like three blocks down from his place. Cut my swim into cement pond short to be there. Maybe I need my glasses to actually read that, because it didn't make any sense. All right. Do you want to go to Ken's place again someday? Yes, I do. And that was a question from Nathan. And Ron's talking about, Ron to me is just crazy. He wants to go 3-4 times a year. And I don't think my butt could handle that long of a drive that many times. So, but I wouldn't mind going down one more time, maybe in September or something. So, like I said, I was just in awe at the man's house. Like, it was trains everywhere. He's got HO running around with, and then I think in the back corner, he's got narrow gauge. So you're looking at the HO gauge track all the way around his basement. And then you get into a certain section, and all of a sudden there's a third rail in it. And it's like, what's the third rail for? And it's like, oh, he runs narrow gauge on this part of it. Like, oh, wow. To be here, Sparky, first time in the chat with you. G'day, Mike Thomas. And glad you could join us all. He's got dual gauge. Yes, he does. And then he's got O gauge stuff sitting under another narrow gauge layout, which was in the center of the room. So when you're watching What's Neat podcast number 37, my station's actually sitting on another narrow gauge layout, and it's completely separate. He's got O gauge stuff underneath that, and then you walk around the corner, he's got G scale stuff underneath that. And he had a shelf. I don't know. Let's say it was 2x2 glass cover on it, but it was all cars and trucks and vans and utility vehicles and you name it, it was all stuck in there. It's like everywhere you look. And I'm also going to have a video up of another showcase he had. He's got Chernobyl cars, and then he's got flat cars with this long, I think the tank that he's got sitting on it's got to be 2 feet long, sitting on four flat cars. Like, and he's made that one himself, obviously. Like, it was just really cool. Robert Sacco, how are you doing? ATSF Ventraspur and Scalar. Scrumptious Model Trains, if I haven't said hi, there is I am RRO.com. Mr. Eric, how are you? Mr. John Dilly. So names are just flying by. I can't remember if I said them or not. If I did, I did. If I didn't, say your name again. So hopefully all you guys got a chance to see his podcast number 37. And I don't know. I almost thought I looked at a place. Like, knowing that he has anywhere from 8,000 to 20,000 people watching his podcast. And then I guess it goes on Facebook too. And when I got there, I wasn't even going to be part of the podcast. I was there to give Ron a drive down, and he wanted to have my station down there. So I said, okay, like, you can have my station. I was a little reluctant to that because there's only 7 of those models ever made. I have number 7. There's no replacement if it gets broke. But anyway, it made it home just fine, thank goodness. But the other reason why I went down is Ron was asking if I could video him when Ken wasn't videoing him. That way he had something to go home with, and maybe he can make videos of his trip too. I'm like, yeah, okay, I can do something like that. That's easy enough. So, like I said, when Ken saw one look at my camera, thought it was great. And then Saturday, when I was filming Ron doing his part of the podcast, or no, it's part of the next show, which he's doing for the monthly show. But we were sitting there, and he had to see all the clips that I took. I took about 40 clips of all that. And I think Ken ended up keeping 11 or 12 of the clips. Like, just thought they were really good. Loves the camera. So that's like a CX900 or something from Sony. So he's going to run out right away and grab 2 of those. He was trying to blackmail me. He's like, okay, well, if you leave this camera here, you can take like $1,000 worth of stuff out of my house. I'm like, yeah, no, that won't cover it. Like, being Canadian, $1,000 isn't gonna, well, $1,000 worth of stuff isn't gonna buy me a new camera. So I'd be stuck doing nothing. Couldn't do any more videos. So, like, when you have a new video, that last one was rather cool. Not sure if that was to me, Wild Hair, because I fall so far behind my own chat. It's horrible. So, oh, great. Now you're fighting who saw Eric first. Huh. I saw him finally. How's that? See, I really wish his garden layout was working when we were there. That would have been kind of cool to see. But so Ken is a bit of a character. When you can get Ken in a bit of downtime, he's hilarious. Most down-to-earth person you could talk to. And very knowledgeable. Like, don't shoot the shit with the guy and be full of shit at the same time. Excuse my French. I'm sure we're all adults, for most of us. Because he just kind of, if you did that, I could just see him. He would be the type that would agree with you, so he wouldn't have to talk to you anymore. You know what I mean? Like, the guy is really, really smart. He's been in the hobby for a while, knows the products. So, but as far as being a container character, we had a lot of laughs. And my best laugh that I had there, my Big Blow locomotive, my video where it's got the fire coming out the back end, and I was pretty sure most people had not seen that video yet. So as we were sitting there, and I'm sitting in front of Ken's computer, and we're talking, and all of a sudden Ken gets going on one of his spurts about, okay, well, we're going to do this, and we're going to do this, and we're going to run outside, and we'll shoot some video of this. Excuse me. It's that nostril. But anyway, I'm sitting there in front of this computer, so I just kind of turned around, and YouTube was on, so I put my channel in there, and I scrolled down to my video, and I put it in. And it starts with the little screeching of the rails, right? So that got his attention right away. He's like, oh, what are you watching? Hey, that's the Scale Trains model. And all of a sudden, the flames come out of the back end. Well, I've never seen this before. He fell out of his chair. He was laughing so hard, he just, whoa. I guess gets himself back up, and it's like, oh my, that is awesome. I got to have that for my show. What is that? So we went in and talked about it a little bit. He used a little clip of it because right after that, it gets really blurry because the fire got too bright. But the clip that he showed, it did its thing. Like, that was pretty cool, I thought. So, but he talked about that for, I don't know, 20 minutes after that. And then of course, we got busy and stuff. And then Saturday night, when it starts to get a little busy around his house and people are starting to show up, and all of a sudden he's like, oh, guys, you got to check this out. Check this out. And he puts that clip up there. Well, everybody starts laughing then. And now everybody's sharing. I got Mike Buddy running around going, oh, check this out. oh, check this out. And he's showing people, and there was another Dave guy there. He was laughing so hard. He's like, that is just the coolest thing. So anyway, I'm 4 and I'm still learning. Well, you're a little older than 4 there, Govia. CN. So yeah, just when he's working, he's working. When he's not, he's fun. But the very quick intervals, that is for sure. And you get, when we were filming or shooting, like he takes the camera out to do all his. He does still photographs most of the time, right? So we're out there doing those auto racks, gets it set up. And if this is the auto rack here, he gets his camera right here. And he's like, just taking the shots that he takes are just so close to the car. I would have never thought. It really does that every time I have a live stream. And I can't really look at it this time because it's behind my computer.
Call from Gifford.
I have no idea who that is. So too bad. They can leave a message.
Call from Gifford.
Sounds like a good flood. Hopefully it's not a good flood.
Call from Gifford.
Oh, shop. Cheapers. So yeah, he gets just a different perspective from where a camera angle could be. Like I've always thought if you're going to take any kind of camera angle, you're going to be way back here looking at it so everybody can see it. But he gets up close, personal, the details that it just brings out. I might try it in a couple videos, but you never know. So anyone know of a good place to buy N-scale semis? If I could get on my computer and look, I could tell you. Mike, ask me after I post this video, ask that question again in the comments in the rerun, because I do have a web page on my computer, and it's got more N-scale semis and cars and stuff than you can shake. They even do the old stock trailers for N-scale. And I thought that was really cool. I don't know why they would make them in HO, but so 2448 is Vinny. I was born in 2004. Well, I was a little bit sooner than that. So Trainworks, no, I don't think it's Trainworks. So other than that, I'm kind of talked out again. Like I said, unless you guys got more questions, because a lot happened at Ken's. I obviously can't just spew it out like I can. But if you guys got questions about it, I can try to answer them, as long as they're not too behind the scenes type thing. Dave is old. Yes, I am. I'll be the first to admit it. Starting to feel younger, though. I keep doing trips like that, and I'll get younger. It's like a time machine heading down that far and coming back. And the energy down there is just, wow. Like, we were up until 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, both nights, Friday and Saturday. So, yeah, I'm getting old because that's hard to do in my state. My age, I guess, is the way to put that. So we got Trainworks makes awesome N-scale semis. Oh, I did see Lance in here. G'day, sir. How are you? You kind of scrolled past once or twice there. Have a nice chat. I'm going to see guys in an hour, 15. Take it easy, John Dilly. No, just the size F of transfer building, the wood block. Oh, look, Container Man's flexing his muscle on being a moderator. Putting the website right up there for you. So, okay, Ralph, ask a second time. I'm watching. TSG Multimedia did a review of an N-scale Peterborough with a sleeper. That'd be cool. There's Weber Model Railroad. So, hello, Lance. How are you? Okay, Ralph, are you asking a question? I'm waiting. Don't make you wait this long. Oh, maybe I do. Have you ever looked at Virtual Railfan? Okay, is that the website or a game? Because it sounds familiar, but Live rail fanning cams. Then yes, I have. I've got 2 of them saved as my favorite places to go. Favorites list. Because I think Horseshoe Curve is one of them. And then I don't know if it's that website or not, but there's another one of an old wooden house across the street from like 2 or 3 tracks and an old, really rough rail crossing right there. Seem to see a lot of trains go by on that. Chasco, I've seen lots of rail, not much rail car. So I've kind of run out of things to talk about. It's a Weber. It's Weber. Weber Model Railroad. Everybody likes to correct me on saying their name because I never do it right. At least I say my name right. You guys got to give me that. Mike Thomas says the deer was cool. I think that was kind of one of the highlights of the morning anyway. I have noticed the deer down there are a lot smaller than the deer we have around here. Like hitting the deer down around St. Louis, and there's lots of them on the side of the highways in the States. I'm kind of surprised at that. And blown tires. But if I would have hit some of these things that I saw on the side of the road, I wouldn't have worried about it. But the ones that we have up here are like anywhere from 4 or 5 feet tall. Usually come through your windshield. So I don't know, maybe we just got more food for them to eat. Did custom officials say anything about the structure in the back of your car? Well, when we were going down there, the guy that was the customs official must have actually liked model railroading because of course, they always ask you to put your back window down. So I did. And he took one look at the buildings and the station. He's just like, wow, that's awesome. So Ron right away was like, can you make sure you put that in the notes that we're taking these 5 buildings down there and we're bringing them back? Because when we got back, I put the window down for that guy, and he's just kind of like, what are those? Well, what's the value of them? And Ron right away is, well, there is no value to those because we built them here in Canada. We took them over to see a friend run trains on his layout, and then we're just coming home with them. They're ours. And then he got a little snobby after that. And he's like, well, anything else to declare? And I'm like, well, I got 2 cases of Busch Light in the back of my car for my boss. They're 12 packs. Oh, is that it? Like, yeah, didn't do any shopping really. So then he kind of waited about 3 minutes, and then he's like, okay, well, you guys can go. So I'm like, all right, well, whatever. But that was one of my big problems with taking my station down there. I didn't want to get back to the border and them going, well, you can't take that over there. You obviously bought that when you were down here. It's like, oh my God, really? Go watch my channel. It's been on my channel a few times. It's mine. Sparky reminds me of a guy in Nevada who thought all the deer in Indiana were small. They are small. Your deer are small there. What is the value of my station? My station, when I bought it, was $750 Canadian, and it cost me, I believe, $500 for Ron to put it together for me. And that was a very special deal that I got from Ron. Obviously, a station that big would go for a lot more for somebody else to build it. So that was probably a friend's special. And it took me, I believe it was 2 years it took me to actually find that station. And Container Man 68. No, you didn't help me out with that. Sparky Special, yes. The station is cool. Yeah, I'm going to have to do an actual video of both sides of the station for you guys. So, because once I got it downstairs, I didn't want to move it around too much. So, but I love it. It is built for the 1980s when Conrail actually ran through there. A lot of the windows were boarded up at that time. I just remember the security office was in the back corridor, the archway to the left, big room. And we got caught jumping on trains when we were kids. Don't do that if you're a kid. Don't do it if you're an adult either. Don't jump on trains. But we got caught doing it. And the guy takes us into this, and he's like, well, we're going to call your parents right away. And of course, back then I was petrified of my dad, and so was my friend. So we begged this guy not to call our parents. So he's like, okay, well, I got videos for you guys to watch. This is how different times are. Back then, you could watch these videos, you went home and you had a nightmare. Back nowadays, kids would watch these videos, they'd sue the crap out of somebody. We sat down and watched a half-hour video clip of people jumping on trains, falling off them, getting cut in two by tires, losing arms, legs. Very, very graphic video for half an hour. I will say after that, and of course the fact that we got caught, we never jumped on trains again. But we were still enamored with them, loved watching them go by. So what does it look like in the security room? It was just a very big, open room with a desk in it and a TV. So can't even remember if it had bars on the window. What is for dinner, Eric? Surprised he hasn't told you guys that yet. So back to the station. It was Ron is one, I believe, 2448 Toyman is my first follower that I ever had on YouTube. And I don't know if it was a video or something I posted, but then him and I got to be friends, and he hooked me up with a gentleman named Jeff, which owns Rail City Hobbies in St. Thomas. So if you guys are looking for anything to buy, check out railcityhobbies.com. Anyway, that's my little plug for him. But Jeff knew a guy that probably knew another guy that just happened to have one of the train stations left. And it was the very last one. And I don't know if he talked the guy into it or let him know what I was trying to model was the St. Thomas Rail Yard or what. But all of a sudden I bumped into him at the Brampton train show. And Jeff looked at me and said, oh, I found a station for you. And I'm like, yeah, okay. And he's like, it's $750. I can get it for you right now. And I'm like, I didn't bring $750 to a train show. I'd spend it. He's like, that's okay. If you got a bit of money, I can give it to him. I'll get it for you. And I think Jeff ended up giving the guy $750 for me. And then I ended up paying Jeff later. But I'm not going to say for sure that's what happened. But anyway, 2 weeks later, I ended up at the station in my house. So. And then got Ron Perry to build it for me because there was no way I was going to touch a wood model at that time. I've never done a wood model, a wood kit. So one of that magnitude and size and it being the seventh one of the seven ever built, I wasn't going to do it and screw it up. There was no way. So I got somebody to me who was a professional to do it. So. Okay, mammoth size shrimp. Yummy. So that's like prawns. Huh, yummy. So one thing I'd like to see right now by everybody that's here, if you would like, is just put how many subscribers you have that watch your channel. So right now, like I would print that I have 1630, I think is what I've got. So this is just kind of a little time to get yourself a shout out. So we got New Haven Rails has 609. Railfan 555 has 76. Eric is still looking for shrimp. EJ and E Jeff has 71 subscribers. Southern 207 Hobbies, good day, sir. Didn't see you pop in. You got 86. Mike Thomas has 25. Go Via CN Ontario has 92 subs. RWC Cars, I have 10 subs. Well, there's 29 people in here right now. So there you go, guys. RWC Cars, go check out his channel. OVR Trains. Otter Valley Railroad Trains. Good day, sir. How are you? 387. So there's a train store for some of you guys. OVR Trains. Check out his store, his channel. That's Lauren. PNSF 6951 has 2,894. Superific, sir. That's awesome. Got Ron Piskel has 72. Containerman 68 has 322. He thinks. He's never sure about anything. So as long as you can read road signs, always good. Weber Model Railroad. Did I get it right that time? 519. GRE 2057 is 121. Martin Searsma, 14. Bruce, 62 and growing, which is awesome. Ralph Greenwood has 139. Unless he drinks some of that apple wine of his. Then he's got 270 some odd. So we cover everybody. Wild Hair Hobbies, mine 9. Is that like German? 9? Not 9? I'll still screw it up there, Weber. I should just call you Lance anyway, but then nobody would know who I'm talking to. So that's why I always use everybody's name that's on YouTube. That way everybody knows that if I say Ron Piskel, you guys can go, oh, there's Ron Piskel right there. I'll go subscribe to him. There we got 2448 Toyman, which is 1,130 subs. Wild Hair Hobbies didn't like what he had to say, so he retracted his message. Aw, I probably wanted to see that. ATSF, Venture Spur, N-Scaler has 119. Cheryl Crow, 37. I am RRO.com, only 6,822. Now that is awesome. See, maybe you should be doing the live streams and telling all your people to subscribe. And then I'd have to go to your show and beg for people too. Well, not beg, but you know what I mean. Pick me, pick me. So I'm just over 1,500. So there you guys go. A little bit of channel notifications there for people. You saw somebody there that was really low. Like I said, we got 32 in here now. So for channels like Cheryl Crow's got 37. Now we got 31 in here. There's going to be a couple of you guys that can go over to Cheryl Crow's channel and check it out, subscribe. See, and the first time I saw Cheryl Crow, I thought she was the singer. So I was really excited to go check it out. I don't think she's the singer, though. Shh. So sitting at 42 minutes, guys, and I'm pretty much going to wrap it up because that's all I had tonight was talk about Ken Patterson. I'm kind of surprised nobody had too many questions about it. Yes, Sparky 519, not 1,000 subs. Yeah. Oh, there is one person. Where is it? I lost that. Redbird Tony. I haven't seen him pop in here tonight. He might be at work right now, but Redbird Tony just went over 100 subscribers and he's having a contest. So if one of my moderators can throw up Redbird Tony's channel, there's one to go check out and check out his contest. So that'd be cool. I always like contests, so I'm sure everybody out there likes contests too. Mike Thomas, are you going to put the lighting in the building like Ken suggested? Right now, no. Kind of the way I'm looking at that is I've got to finish that whole rail yard, and there's probably 20 to 30 tracks in that rail yard. And I've got a 4.5 foot section of wood there. Well, about 18 inches is already taken up by the station and 3 tracks that are there. So I've got to drop feeder wires down, ballast that track, run some trains around it a bit, make sure they work for a while, put in the rest of the yard work and the yard ladder, ballast all that with a different kind of ballast. Then I've got my turntable to do, roundhouse to do, transfer table to do, and engine facility to do. And then once all that's done, I'll probably go back and start adding lights to things. And that's just the St. Thomas rail yard part of it. So I do want lights in it eventually, just not yet. It's like way down on the back burner. So unless I take it back to Ken's, maybe he wants to put lights in it. But I don't think he's got time to do stuff like that either. So clap my cheeks. So taking it, you guys sub to each other. But I'm probably, unless people got some questions that they want to ask 32 other people about the hobby, modeling, scenery, anything that they're having problems with. And I just love how slow YouTube is lately. I'm just starting to get notifications that people have commented on previous videos. Did you have dinner? Yep, I actually went to McDonald's. Blah. Only ate half of it, though. The McDonald's around here is horrible. A scratch build for my show. Does it look like my house, Vinny? Want to do a live video once I get building post July 1st. That would be cool. So you got to get your pot lights and stuff done. Which, like I said, I can always come over and give you a hand with that kind of stuff, Lauren. No big deal. That way it's done right for you if your other electrician's having problems getting there. So Mickey 1969 says hello to everybody and to me. So hello, Mickey. Ivan deleted. Oh, so we're not reading his messages. Thank you, sir. Mr. Container Man, $10 super chat. So he's got a little over 300. We got to go get her. Subscribe to Container Man 68. I wonder how quiet I can make this thing. Oh, that's quiet. So there you go. Check out Container Man 68. If you haven't already subscribed to him, subscribe. And, of course, hit that bell so when he puts out a video, you can watch it. He likes putting out truck driving videos. And I like watching them. That way I don't have to drive it. So, and Lauren, give me a text sometime. We'll talk about it, bud. Be nice to get you up and running. I know everybody's pretty busy, but I might be able to fit you in some weekend. RWC Cars is my other channel, so please sub. Okay, I'll try to remember. I'll probably remember when I go back in about 2 hours and watch this again. So, oh yes, see, that's why I said remind me, sir. GRE 2057. There you go, people. GRE was the first person that popped in on my live stream tonight. He was about a minute earlier than everybody else. I think there was 4 people here, and he threw out his super chat. So everybody, of course, make sure you check him out also. GRE 2057. And thank you very much, sir. And thanks for reminding me. My head's just like Ken Patterson. It gets going 100 miles an hour when I'm doing this live stream, and then when I'm done the live stream, I remember everything. So, seen quite a few Container Man's videos today. Yes, he does have a few of them out there. I gotta watch his one somewhere in Phoenix. I think he just posted that one, so I gotta get to that one yet today. Good night, Ron. 2448 Toy Man. Go make a video or a live stream after mine, buddy. We can all pop in and watch yours. That's always an idea. Great background videos from Toy Man. Always have one playing in the background. I think that was from Roy, not Toy. But we'll figure it out. Roy Container Man. Yeah. That's a good point, Bruce. Container Man's videos is superior to Google Street. Maybe you should sign a contract with him or something. The amount of driving he does. New Haven Rails, you're just popping in as I'm saying goodbye, sir. But hello to you. Thanks for popping in. So kind of a short one tonight. We only lasted 55 minutes because I was a little bit early, but so take a minute, guys. Go through the chat, scroll real quick. If you see a name that you're not sure of, check it out. go check out their channel, subscribe to people that you weren't sure of, and of course hit the bell if you want to see what they have coming up. And don't forget to hit the bell on my channel. That way you don't miss any of the Wednesday night live streams when they happen, when YouTube decides to notify you. Apparently they've been getting later and later all the time with that. So, but I'm going to call it a night, guys. Get a little bit more food into me because the McDonald's just didn't cut it tonight. I don't know why I buy McDonald's from the one down close to my house. It's just their buns are horrible. I don't know how they call them fresh, but I don't know. Maybe they are to somebody. So, good night to everybody. And like I said, Lauren, give me a text later on. You and I can talk, buddy. Get things set up for you. And other than that, see if I can figure out yet again how to end my live streams. I think it's getting easier. Talk to you guys later on. Bye for now.